Hey guys, it's Josh. Welcome back to the Landlord Harassment Channel. And I just got out of the shower, just got cleaned up a little bit, brushed my teeth and all that. Pretty late, but that's what I did. And today I got a little story for you about my experience with wokeness and how it caused an event in my life I did not expect. Now, wokeness destroys everything it touches. This is just a fact. And it's a fact I had to learn the hard way because it destroyed one of my friendships. Now, so I'm going to give you guys some context here. I had this woman friend. We weren't an item and we weren't dating or nothing like that, but she was just like a woman friend. But she was a good friend. Um, she had helped me out a couple of times when I was homeless. And we had a relatively close friendship, even beyond that. I mean, we talked and chatted all the time and stuff. Not daily, but you know what I'm saying, like probably once a week or something like that. And we got together when we could, and we really just had like what I would call a pretty strong friendship. And I had known her for 4 or 5 years after this. 4 or 5 years, right? By the time the event I'm about to explain all went down. Okay, so come 2018, I had known her since 2014. Come 2018 or so, I noticed from her Facebook posts and her, by the way, I'm just going to give her a name. We're going to call her Texas. I'm not going to say her real name because I don't want to, but I'm just going to call her Texas because she's from Texas, okay? So where was I? Okay, so I started to notice that she was starting to take on more sort of wokester personality. I noticed this in her Facebook posts, in her Instagram posts, and some of the things that she would say, even in real life. And it started happening more and more. So I actually asked her about it a couple of times. I didn't like confront her, but how do I put this into words? I kindly let her know that she might not be going a particularly great direction. Um, and I kindly gave her a little bit of game and told her the truth about some things that she, because she was starting to lean towards like the BLM crowd and like the feminist crowd and all that. And she was not like that before. But she made a bunch of wokester friends in Des Moines and they started having more and more influence on her. And before you know it, she had gone fully woke. Well, I didn't know that. I did not know that. And I found out the hard way one day that she had indeed gone full woke. And what happened is okay. So she was really overweight, kind of like the way I was super overweight last year, and I still am. I still have 100 pounds to lose. But she had 100 pounds to lose, and she did drop it over the course of like a year. So I was really proud of her as a friend. And I wrote on her Facebook comments one day, this is like where she was posting like one of her before and after pictures. I wrote how proud I am of her. I told her like how good she looks and how much better she must feel and all this sort of stuff. And I just told her she looks really good now and I bet she feels better and that sort of thing. You don't expect to get attacked when you're giving a friend a compliment about losing a bunch of weight. But that's what happened. And it really surprised me. Really surprised me. A bunch of her wokester friends started piling into the comments section talking about, what do you mean? Are you saying she didn't look good before? Fat is beautiful and all body shapes are beautiful. And I got like 100 of these comments. So I reached out to her. I reached out to Texas and DM and I said, listen, I tried to give you a compliment about losing weight and how good a job you're doing. And your wokester friends are attacking me nonstop. And what she did next really, really surprised me. She made another status basically taking the side of the people that were attacking me. She didn't mention my name. She did this in a sort of vague way. But that's what she did. So I was very, very unhappy with her at this point, and I'm just like, are you really like just like crapping on our friendship over something like this? And I sent her a pretty strongly worded letter. I'm not going to lie, it was pretty strongly worded, but I was I was very upset, really upset. And I come to find out she took offense to what I said. How do you take offense to somebody complimenting you for losing weight? But that's what wokeism does. Anyway, that moment ended a 4-year friendship. And it put me in a really weird spot for a while, just mentally. It really mentally messed me up. First off, that was back when I was really starting to get into the throes of the sickness that I told you guys in other videos. My liver wasn't working well. A lot of things weren't working well. I was not doing well from a physical standpoint. I didn't really need friends turning against me for really absolutely no reason on top of that. But our friendship was over at that moment, and it still has never been repaired to this day. And, the Lord says to forgive. So I do technically forgive her. But could I let her back into my life now? I don't think so. I could actually overlook her coming at me, because I understand wokeness is very alluring to some people, and she was getting sucked into it at that time, and that's that time when she first crossed over to that dark side, so to speak. So I can forgive her for coming at me, but it's very hard for me to look past her letting other people attack me, because I value loyalty. And if the situation had been reversed, I would have defended her in a hot second. I'm not going to throw away a close friendship over some new friend for some new friends just because they happen to get woke and they want me to jump on their stupid, wokester bandwagon. But that's what she did to me. I can overlook her coming at me strong, but I can't overlook her allowing her friends to come at me strong without defending me. And so, the reason I'm telling this story is because this person, when she was my friend, she was not a fake. She was a very genuine person. She was somebody you could actually trust. This wasn't somebody that you think is cool but is really just a snake. She was truly a genuinely good person. And she had my back, and I had hers. She even gave me $100 a couple times. So she was good, but once that wokeness started seeping into her personality, and once she fully accepted, she became a completely different person. And from what I understand, she spent a couple of years running around Des Moines with somebody else I know, another girl who I don't really have a lot of respect for, but we'll get to that another day. Basically pretending to be a black person, she goes to all these like wokester BLM poetry readings and crap like that, and I guess she hates white people now, even though she's white as a ghost, But that's I thought I would have better words to describe this. I'm sorry I keep sort of pausing here. But even when I think about it, it's been 3 or 4 years now since this happened. And even when I think about it now, it's like my jaw just kind of drops. But I get wokeism changes people. It brings out the absolute worst in People, it can make the best people turn into the worst kind of people. And that's just reality. This was a good girl before. She really was. But she's not a good girl no more, and she's not somebody I can trust anymore. Like if she knocked my door today wanting to mend our friendship, I don't think I could do that. I could maybe, there's a small chance I would consider it if it turned out that she walked away from all that woke crap. But even then, there's the matter of you didn't defend me against your new wokester friends and you've known me for years. That's the thing I can't really get past. But that's what wokeism does to you. So that's my story of how wokeism, and I've got a bunch of these kind of stories, but that's one of the main stories that really, that I can relate to in my personal life about how being woke, being a lefty, becoming a lefty, being a wokester, accepting wokeism absolutely destroys everything it touches. That's all for today. Cash App's link down below. Please show your love. I'll talk to you guys soon.